What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever as always, and it is back. Part 2, Act 2, Core 2, whatever the hell you want to call it, we are back, baby. It is Bleach time. That's right, Bleach. 1,000-year Blood War arc. I know, it's really a confusing cover, isn't it? It's sort of up, down, left, right. Who knows? Maybe I have Shinji's Bankai. Who knows? But yeah, episode 14 dropped, I think, like 5-6 days ago. I apologize, I'm very bad with dates. So I wasn't really aware that it was back. I was informed it was aware on my Discord, or I was informed I was aware. I was informed that the episode dropped, and I finally got around to watching it and stuff, and just quickly, like, had to skim through this really quickly, because, of course, this episode follows the first half, pretty much, of volume 61. So 61 out of 74 volumes. We're still at a good pace, ladies and gentlemen. We're still at a good pace here. But episode 14 is entitled The Last 9 Days. Now, before we even get into what I think of the episode itself, let's talk about the opening and ending, and the way the episode opened and ended. So we'll go in order. Number 1, the opening bit with Yuha as a baby, and the power of Christ compels you, this demon baby, God baby, Yuha, Yuha, Yuha. You know, sort of this nefarious, ominous chanting, this cult-like behavior was very, very well done. It was stunning. It was visually nefarious, visually very well done and stuff like that, and a good way to sort of open us back up to coming back into this story sort of idea. Coming back after, I don't know, it was 6-7 months. Either way. And, I mean, I don't think we'll get into the fact that they split this up. I don't really believe in the splitting up of seasons for anime. I think it's weird. Unless it's giving animators more time for quality. Unless that's the purpose behind it. I can't say that being the case. But if it is, if it gives the directors, if it gives more time to the production to split it into 2, then all power to them, and I won't complain again. But if it's not, I don't like that they do it. And we'll talk about why in a minute. But the opening, I think it's my favorite opening so far of, like, out of the 2 that we've gotten. And out of the 2 endings, in fact. This is my favorite. Visually, absolutely stunning, by the way. Visually stunning. With a lot of symbology and stuff like that in there. Very Kubo-esque, very Bleach-esque with all the outfits and stuff like that. You know, Kubo loves drawing his characters in, like, modern time situations, being at college, going to the red carpet show, that kind of stuff, and just picks random ones to go. So this felt like very old classic, you know, like if I showed you if you knew nothing about Bleach and I showed you the first opening of Bleach, you guys wouldn't know what the hell it was about, you know? It's just a bunch of guys dressed up in hoodies and tuxes and stuff like that, and just running all over the place, and jumping fences, and wearing goggles, and, you know, going all over the place in different outfits. So, yeah, definitely very Kubo-esque, and I like that. And the song was a bit of a banger. I like the song. The song felt a little more going back to some older Bleach soundtracks. And as I said, some of the symbolism, like Kenpachi with the Red River, in a suit, roses, into river, a funeral for somebody, perhaps? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, you know? Like, either way, yeah, so definitely like that part. The ending was an ending. Nowadays, I'm not too impressed with anime endings anymore. Nobody really animates an ending or puts their best song as an ending song anymore. So the ending was fine. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just there. And now the cliffhanger at the end, of course, with the 9 days, and let's go to you and Hashwolf and stuff, and how we ended off the episode to boom, it started. The actual war is about to begin, or the battle, the one that, you know, they had their first battle, they had their first invasion, the first skirmish, but now it's time for part 2, baby, and this is gonna be a firefight. So, yeah. Now, what do I actually think of the episode? As a standalone episode, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. It follows basically part by part of this, with a few exceptions. There's a filler scene with Ichibei and Ichigo, or an expanded upon scene. They change around the conversation between Uryu and Yuha a little bit there. Yuha Bach and Uryu talk a little differently about why he's the successor. Uryu talks about his mother and the Soul Reapers, and Quincy's can't get along and all that stuff. It's much different than the scene that's actually in the manga, with the key thing left out. In fact, the fact is, in the manga, Yuha says, the reason you survived the Ashwallen, I have no idea. That means that you have a power that shouldn't have happened, but it did, and you survived it in spades. So you have a power that I don't, or that I can't beat, or a power that supersedes mine, or something. Either way, it means you're basically a goat. You're the goat, and I'm making you my successor. So there we go. That's pretty much what he says. That's the reason for that. And they have all the same scenes. We meet the Sternritters and stuff like that. Or we're meeting some of the Sternritters, right? And it's a fine episode. If you were going to watch episode 13, and then you watch episode 14, the flow is fine. And I'm sure into episode 15 with that great cliffhanger, great way to end the episode, perfect. I do have a problem, though. I do have a problem with this episode. And it all boils down to the fact that they broke it up. They broke up the season into cores, or acts. And the problem with that is that been waiting, what, half a year or better for Bleach to come back. Was so stoked when it came back. The fact that it was fire, all 13 episodes, love them, stuff like that. Can't wait for more Bleach, and it's all the filler scenes. It's all the funny scenes. And I don't mean filler as an anime filler. I mean, and yes, it flowed from, once again, you can't blame them for just following the manga. But, and this is why I blame it all on the acts. I don't blame the source material. I don't blame episode 14 as a standalone, or upon a rewatch, it won't matter. But because they decided to split this up into parts, this is a sort of a weaker opening. Hey, you wanted more Bleach, baby? Let's jump right back in and let's have Orihime and Chad and Wako Mundo doing what we already knew they were doing, and Renji and Rukia staring at each other and having a comedic scene, and Ichigo not ready to fight Yuha. Time to walk down a green hallway. And, you know what I mean? Like, we jumped to all these characters, and oh, Ichigo's classmates. Shouldn't we better give them those tickets? The Visors, remember those guys? Yeah, there's a comedic scene with Shinji and Hiyori there. Yay! You know what I mean? None of these scenes are a problem. They're all in the manga for the most part, and there's nothing wrong with them. There's actually nothing wrong with these scenes. The problem is that that's what the whole episode is, because they're following the pacing of the manga, and when it opened up, I was just a little disappointed. Maybe not disappointed, but just kind of like, not the strongest episode to start out your pseudo season 2 on. You know what I mean? When season 1 opened, episode 1 was like, Bleach is back, number 1, Ichigo, Bankai, let's go. Episode 13 felt like a finale of a season, even as short as it was. It felt like a finale episode. Now with this one, they didn't open strong. They ended the episode strong, but I don't feel like this episode should have been. Granted, I don't really know how they could have fixed that, other than just not releasing these as acts. That's or course. That's the only way I could see around this. But yeah, other than that, I find the episode fine. I liked all the scenes. They were done very well from volume 61. And I even think that there was a little other additional scene. I think we do see, but once we get to see everyone, and it sort of felt like, if you didn't read the manga, wouldn't you feel like this was more of a, we got to get, like, reintroduce the characters. Okay, here's a scene with Ichigo, Renji, Byakuya, Ichigo's family, Ichigo's friends. Here's the captain commander. Here's this. Here's the Sternritters. Here's Yuha. Here's Uryu. Here's Kisuke. Here's what's going on with everybody. And then let's get back to the plot by the end of the episode. Right? Like, that's sort of what this felt like. Even though it's straight from the manga, as a result of ending on such a banger episode 13, probably my favorite episode of the whole season so far, episode 14 starts off kind of weak because of the break, because of the half-plus year break. I just felt it wasn't a strong opening episode to start off your core 2. That's just me. Didn't mind the episode whatsoever. The animation quality was fine, the scenes flowed well, and everything else was golden. I just really think maybe someone should have thought about this a little bit more. Like, yeah, okay, we're ending off Core 1, great. How are we going to start off Core 2 really nice and strong? You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to start that? That episode's important. The thing is, it wouldn't have been important. Episode 14 is right in the middle of the season. It was made important. Not because of the manga, and just because of the anime, and not because of the season. Not actually because of the anime, not because of the manga, but because the production company or whomever, the gods on high, decided to split it up. So I got a gripe with that. I got a little gripe with that. Other than that, once again, I had no problem with any of the scenes. And I think they're all important because we love these characters and we love seeing them with their comedic interactions and stuff. I didn't want any of these scenes cut. Far from it. But the whole episode was just loaded with scene after scene of interactions between these characters. It's basically like, let's do a checklist down the roster, make sure we see all the fan favorite characters before we get back to the plot at the end of the episode with the Vondenreich taking over the Soul Society. So either way, that's just how I felt. What do you guys think though? And I apologies if you think I'm hating. I'm not hating. I like the episode, and I think upon a rewatch, once both parts are out and you can watch the season as a whole and just watch episode after episode, I feel like I won't even notice that, But I'm noticing it now because they made me notice it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have noticed it, but this could literally be episode 1, part 2, and it's an opening for part 2. And as an opening, it's not very strong. It's a little weak. Because it's a middle of a season episode. It's not meant to be an opener, right? So yeah, that was my only critique. Even though I bitched about it here for like the last 8 minutes, that's my only actual critique about it. But I really wanted to hammer home as to why I felt that way. Either way, outside of that, it was a fine episode, no problem with it, and I really liked all the scenes. I thought everything was done just fine. So, and I think it's going to flow very well into episode 15. Episode 15 being set up for a banger. So, yeah, I can't wait to see that episode. Now, once again, this video was probably 5-6 days late. I don't know when the episode date actually came out. I just heard about it on my Discord, and so I said, oh, damn, I forgot about Bleach. I'm bad with dates. Coming back and stuff like that. I always forget about the dates and what month it is and that kind of idea. So now that I know, of course, the next episode reviews from here on out should be more on time and that kind of idea. So I'm looking forward to episode 15. I know it's not out yet, so I'm not that far behind. So that's a good sign. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Is it all in my head with the week opening? And I don't mean the opening, of course. I mean the episode opening up an act. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just expected more, even though I've read the manga and I knew what scenes were first on the docket. But I don't know. Maybe I expected a bigger opening filler scene or something to really sink our teeth into for a while. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, and we will see you guys back next time for more greatness that is Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Episode 15 is going to be a banger. I can just feel it, guys. Hope you guys feel the same, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.